Hi guys, welcome to another sketchbook tour. I'm going to show you a few sketchbooks because this is from the beginning of my art journey, so I was drawing like a crazy amount. I draw in class, I draw like at home, so I draw for basically like 8 hours a day. So I filled up a lot of sketchbooks, but a lot of it is quite rough and disorganized. But anyway, I have an entire folder of drawings I did in class that are just like on scrap pieces of paper, but I don't know if that's something you guys will be interested in, so please let me know. Drawing helped me get through school on so many levels, like not only just as a fun hobby that made me feel like I was good at something, but also physically sit through class. Turns out I had undiagnosed ADHD, but like, I didn't know that at the time. So I'd just draw in class and it would help me listen, and eventually the teachers gave up telling me off because I think they realized that I was a pretty good student. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the sketchbook tour. So this is my first sketchbook that I had when I was around 10. At some point I went and labelled every single sketchbook from this one onwards, so that's quite nice. I got this sketchbook from Explore Learning, an extracurricular program where you learn more maths and English, and you get you get these lizard cards if you do well, and you can trade them in for different like rewards, and this is what I got. Yeah, let's dive in. These are some observational drawings like in plants. I gave up on this one because it had too many rocks. Yeah, I was really proud of this one. So all of these are from when I was in year 6, so it's like last year of primary school, so I was 10. I had this massive book of different animals, and these are some drawings from that. I would just sit there and copy them. Then I drew some of my dad's friends. So you can see like how Carl came out the first time, so I drew him again. Which I do like about my older sketchbooks is that I kind of acknowledge I didn't like something and I'd either redraw it or try something different. This is the Harry Potter cast from my imagination. I don't think I've watched all of the movies at this point, so I'd only listened to the audiobooks, and this is what I imagine them to be like. Some more observational drawings. I remember these were like my earmuffs. There's a candle we had. Very flat. You'll notice that in literally like a few months I begin to, or like a year, I begin to actually draw the shapes as if they're 3D, which is nice. This was, I think, a tutorial by Fun to Draw. She was the channel that really got me into drawing. I will show you later. I have a whole folder of me copying her drawings, but that's one of them. This is, I think, me and a friend were having like a little draw off on the bus. And he drew this. I don't really know what it is, but there you have it. As a parrot. A drawing of my dog. I think my grandma has these cups. I just have like weird faces on them, so I wanted to capture that. I think at this point I was watching a lot of Echo Gillette's sketchbook tours. I keep rewatching them every so often because they make me quite inspired. I think she had a character like that and I copied it. Cat from Alice in Wonderland. Some weird things. I guess I was just experimenting with shading and like putting anime eyes on things. Cat mouse. I had these neon pens, I guess I was experimenting with, more like anime faces, just some doodles. I think I was doing this in class. I think by this point I'd started secondary school, so I was 11 and I was just kind of like doodling in class. Oh, I don't know if you guys were around for this, but on YouTube there used to be these like tour of my brain videos where someone would like draw their brain and like take you through it, so I wanted to draw one. I remember like a lot of them had like a door that was locked, and I didn't really know what to put behind my locked door, so I just drew it for the aesthetic, I guess. Here we have some different ways of drawing braids. I think I was probably watching some YouTube tutorial. I think someone said to do like a zigzag and then draw around it a range of ears. Now it's meant to be like a long dog ear, but can't really tell. That one's quite good. You see, what you will notice is that if I was copying from something, my art looks actually quite good, especially for my age. But if I was drawing from my head, it just looks awful. Like, this is the fun to draw kind of art style. Cute, but a bit of a waste. I can't believe I used to draw so scratchy. I still do that, but this is my character I invented. I think she was going through like a zombie apocalypse. I used to always draw hands like this, like kind of, I thought it made them look quite moody and cool. I had this like silver ink I bought from Winsor & Newton, and I wanted to try it out on drawing armor. So that's what this is. I drew these in an airport. It's just kind of with one of those multicolored pens. This I was just playing around with a Crayola. It was like a kind of my take on a one color challenge. I used different pens but like the same color. Coding home more doodles. This is kind of funky. She's got like dog ears. This, my uncle was complaining about the different people that would annoy him on the train to work. So, or like, I think the London Underground more specifically, but I thought that his complaining reminded me of like a video game with like different types of, I guess, enemies you'd have to avoid. Kind of like Plants vs Zombies. So I drew a poster for the game. This doesn't look anything like my uncle, by the way. Some pretty awful sketches. Some different patterns. I like collecting different ways of doing things. Oh, this is my character. I don't know why he looks so... He's meant to be like a ghost. He like drowned or something. Now my boyfriend's called Daniel, so can't be drawing him anymore. Some more of these. You can really kind of tell what my style looked like back then. It was just a mess of things, and I would mostly, if you see something that looks exactly like this, it's from me drawing in class. This is all I would draw, just like a 3/4 face with like massive eyes and a really round nose. Maybe I didn't abandon it for as long as I thought. I started secondary school in 2016, so maybe this is all just 2 years of work. Cyber goth, I was really into like goth fashion, but I never really went further than just wearing full black because I was shy, I guess. I don't know. I do kind of like this back cover. But that's it for this first book, and let's move on to sketchbook number 2. This one I finished before that one, but I started it quite a bit after. This is my first sketchbook that I kind of bought with intent of being like an artist. This drawing is questionable, but I was trying to copy Doodle Date style, where I think Adam draws his eyes like somewhat similar, but yeah, I was 11. So yeah, please note this date. Finished the sketchbook in about 2 days. So this is a copy of something, obviously like a manga book I had or something. This is also copied from like a drawing book, and then this isn't, so you can see the real descent of quality. This I believe was copied from like a manga book, and then I tried to do like my own version, which I guess that looked fine. I don't know why I felt the need to do this, but yeah, so at this point I got my hands on some pro markers, so everything as you see is coloured in either Sharpie or alcohol marker. So that's fun. I didn't know how to use them or how to blend. Baymax looking funky. You can still see this in my art, but I have very unsteady hands. Like back then it was like obviously because I was a kid, but now my hands just shake constantly, so I can't really I'm not great at line work at the best of times. So here is a vampire. I thought I had more to say about this, but yeah, as you can see, this is the next day, so all of this was in one day. I drew myself in this style. I really like this. I think it's quite cute, actually. Avatar? I was really proud of this, but it's good. I went through a phase of playing around with food coloring to like paint things, so that's what this is. It's aged really, really well, considering this is like 10 years old and it's not gone like it's not gone moldy for starters. This was like the eraser challenge. My side profiles need a bit of work at this point. This is like a little comic I did. So he's using a tomato as a grenade. He's just insane. I drew the devil, and I wanted to like blend these eyes with the colourless blender. What you will learn about alcohol markers is that the colourless blender bleeds through. So I drew another one, and then I used it as blush on this girl. And I don't know what style this was meant to be in or what I was copying, but that's that. Another dog. You can see that was drawn from memory. This is quite cool. I wanted to use the red food colouring for blood, but I didn't. I was worried what my parents would think if I drew something gruesome, so I drew this and like Dr. Nonsense. I don't really know. Here's like a scout anime girl, also done in food colouring. I had perfectly good watercolours, by the way. Don't be under the impression that I didn't have any other media to work with. I just preferred food colouring for some weird reason. This drawing has a lot of meaning to me because I found it like a while later after drawing it. I was horrified by how funny it looked. And so I've been redrawing it semi-often ever since. So I've got loads of redraws of this drawing. The dress was originally inspired by a shower curtain. So do with that what you will. My dress was inspired by that illusion, but obviously it doesn't really work. I remember I was halfway through colouring her dress when my mum told me to go to bed, so that's why I wrote 2 different dates. Okay, this took me ages to finish. This is the only reason the sketchbook wasn't finished at that point. I wanted to do like different magical schools. I wanted to fill the whole page with these, but then I got lazy and just drew a massive ugly building in the middle. So this is Harry Potter, that's like J.K. Rowling and stuff. That's me and my friend and our imaginary world. That's I assume the School for Good and Evil, even though I hadn't read it yet. Okay. And this is Charlie Bon. My mum used to read me Charlie Bon and I loved it. So that's it for this book. On to number 3. I don't know. Oh, this has the date here as well, so that's, yep. Like 2 days later, I got this new victim. I think I need to do some explaining because you can actually recognize who this is, unfortunately. So back when it was a bit less controversial, one of my friends had a calendar of this fella in their bathroom. I don't know if it was like ironic. I think it was because her husband's English, but regardless, I thought it was hilarious, so I drew this to scare my dad because he's always been really like anti-Russia, or like anti-Putin. So I hung this up in our bathroom as a joke, and yeah, he still talks about it. This is inspired by Coraline and has some elements at the bottom. Again, done in food colouring. Another anime creature. It's kind of cool. I don't know. If you found this in like a graphic designer's book where everything was super nice, this could look quite cool. But yeah, another food coloring experiment. I've never had guinea pigs. I was looking through this earlier and I can't remember for the life of me what brought me to do this. So it basically says that some people have started to realise that guinea pigs want more space. Change your guinea pig's life today. I don't think anyone was keeping their guinea pig in a house that small, but there you are. You can see they're all the left hand because I modelled it off my hand, and I drew this from my head and I was really proud of it, and I blended like two colours of like grey and brown together and whatever. And then one of my family members was like, "Oh, you must have copied it, it looks so good," and I didn't copy it, and I was very sad about that comment. This is the left hand and right hand challenge. I don't know what else to say about this. This is a famous Russian poet. I think I did this in charcoal. I wanted to do something old in charcoal, more traditional, I guess. But yeah, it's a really like dodgy charcoal pencil, so it looks a bit funny. And then I drew this lady. I don't know who she is. Is she like a... She looks like a politician, but I think I just found her on Google. There's this character again. This massive waste of space and marker, and you can see the area was too big for me to colour in without it being streaky because the marker had dried. Let's try some like Crayola. Actually, I wanted to do like a half kind of good, half like turning into stone, and this had like stalagmites, and I got a brick from outside and like textured over it because I wanted it to have a texture, but the texture didn't really show up, so it just looked like someone of a different race, so I just turned it into like a civil rights type thing. Yeah, I guess happy accidents. Swatch better at my portraits, as you can see. Very nice. And I'd like to draw attention to this because this was only about like a year after this sketchbook, I think. And as you can see, my candle action has much improved. It looks a lot more 3D and stuff. So I got the like backlighting right, I guess. Here's a girl. I think I drew her from memory. I think what I'm getting better at now, and only now, is having like a balance of references, because back then it was either I fully copied the drawing or I drew it entirely from memory, so they'll look a bit funny. I'm going to learn to use reference. I remember this drawing. I realized that clothing has folds, so I started doing these like really awkward lines. Oh my god. It looks horrifying. I need to like Tipex over it. I drew a lie detector. Oh, I drew a lie detector and it's like semi-loading, I guess. Or maybe I just gave up halfway through. Another example of clothing folds. Unfortunately. I don't know why he just looks scary. I don't know what the style is and this weird nose. I think I drew this with my eyes closed. It's meant to be a mermaid. I think I drew her with my eyes closed as well, but she has a lot more personality than the other one. This one hasn't found out about waterproof mascara yet. But yeah, I think I heard about doing line work with not a black pen, so that's what I was trying to do here, and I do like it. I think it looks quite good. And that's sketchbook number. Of Tinkerbell looking demented. A pencil, a rubber, and it says 2 because I assume it was the second one I bought that looked like this, because these ones are from Poundland, which is good because at least I would literally go for like 2 of these a week, so at least that was economic. Oh, so I found this drawing of like an anime character, and I really liked it, so I'd sometimes draw in this style, and I do really like it. It is one of my best drawings of that era. And I think I did turn Nick into like a character for a bit. I think this was copied from something I saw on Pinterest. I started writing fail dramatically under my drawings that I didn't like, so that, God forbid, people think I like my bad drawings. Another copy of something I saw on Pinterest. Different hairstyles I could do. All very anime. That very chibi style again. I remember the nightmare of my black pens constantly running out, and I don't know why I couldn't just ask my mum to get a new one, but I'd constantly be looking through our home trying to find black pens. I don't know, if I could get a new sketchbook I could get a new pen, but for some reason that just never occurred to me. Ooh. This style, but done in food colour, obviously. Food colouring on this. So I think this was from my dream. But as you can see, I'm definitely getting a lot better at drawing from my head. Because this is quite a sweet little alien. Oh, it's broken. Doing some noses and feet. I still can't draw feet. With this, I think I was experimenting with water-based markers and blending them with water. And here we have the date. So as you can see, this is only about a month after this second sketchbook, which is crazy considering this is what this stuff looked like. So I think I was quite proud of this one. Here we have a Pokemon. Pretty label. Oh my god. Again, more collections of how to draw things differently, and a bunch of cats. I think at this point I was still watching the Weird Sketchbook Tour videos by Echo Gillette, so she does a bunch of silhouettes, so I drew a silhouette. She also does this style, so I drew stuff in this style. This one failed. As you can see, I'm very dramatic. And so did this one. But yeah. And so did this one. God, I was on a roll. Yeah, I don't really know what this is meant to be, just like a bat? It's not a Pokemon, but whatever. Wolf. Because everyone has to draw a wolf in there. This is part of my like fantasy world, I think. Because I drew this elf, and I was really proud of her. So, as you can see, it's a play on the Pokemon slogan. Gotta kill them all. So I think she's on like a quest to kill all vampires or something like that. Here's a little comic about her. So she's like arguing with this vampire, and then she gets annoyed, so she opens the curtains and the vampire dies, and she takes her jewellery, I guess. And I guess I wanted to watch Howl's Moving Castle. A little comic. And that's her coming out of the hotel room. And be like, phew. And the keeper's like, what happened? And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. A vampire, everyone hates them. Oh, and they like trade their teeth. It's so weird. And this is the whole like different types of things they have. So I think she's meant to be like a tree elf or like a war elf. I think she's meant to be a war elf. Couldn't fit AR afterwards. Well, yeah, I think that's quite a cool thing. Meant to be from like the underworld, like a ghost. I did blush by putting my finger in ink and then like just dabbing it so you can see my fingerprints. That style you saw originally, I believe I got a brush pen and I didn't really know how to use it. There you have it. And I completed the sketchbook in 4 days. So before you ask how that's even possible, I used to come home from school and draw until I'd go to bed. So that was like 8 hours of drawing a day. And some of these pages obviously didn't take me very long. Yeah, next sketchbook. Oh, there you go, fan art of Echo Gillette. That's quite nice, I guess. Very scribbly, but it is what it is. More of that elf character. Ignore. Okay. Well, here's how I did anatomy back then. Oh, this was weird. I don't know if you can see that. I used like Crit Stick and flour to do like... I guess it's interesting. It's got like a texture to it. And you can see it at certain angles, which makes it look quite cool. There's another one. Oh, another one. I had this pot of ink, so I drew this pot of ink with the ink. It looks quite nice. Like, I think I really ruined the paper here, but it made it look really, really blue. Probably from the same elf universe. Bootman. To draw every single Pokemon, and this is how far I got. Fail. I don't think he's a fail, he looks quite good. This is a dragon I found on Pinterest. More from like Echo Gillette's sketchbook tour inspired art collection. I don't know why the quality fell this drastically. Oh my god. Very scary. More inspired by like Echo Gillette, I guess. I'm so tall, I don't know what to do with myself. I think I'm a bean, but I don't know if I am right. The ink is very tasty. He's like a pen, he's eating his own inks. And why am I always bored? Because, well, I was always bored. This is Bob the Businessman. That was again inspired by Echo Gillette. Because she had a collection of different ways of drawing things. Another one of these, considerably worse looking. I don't know why I did this. I guess it's fun, but there you have it. A lady. I believe this was from like a magazine or something. Oh yes, I think she was also from a magazine. Oh, so was she. That would make sense. Oh god. My neighbor had this bush in their front yard, and I called it Gary, and then literally the next day, my neighbor, who was also called Gary, like cut it down. So I made a wanted poster for him. So the last book we're gonna look at is this one. It's not numbered, and I believe it's a little bit later, but whatever. So this is my mum. Here are some more lips and noses, which makes me think that it's probably from around the same age. I don't think they were meant to be drawn with a white pencil. That just looks weird. I'm getting better at like coloring pencil. I bought this book entirely because it had these like brown paper, and I saw good artists drawing on brown paper, so that's why I was using the white pencil as well for the like contrast. I think I was at my aunt's house, so I did this big like flip. These are probably all from when I was in class just doodling. This girl, that's quite cool. It's like symmetrical, again like the board writing. Forehead too small. I've started labeling my drawings with improvements. He's quite cute. These were done by a girl from my school. She was in my art class and she was so good at drawing. She'd like draw these super duper quickly and then like either throw them away or give them to me. And I have collected a lot of her drawings over the years. like a complete weirdo, but yeah, I thought she was amazing at drawing, and she is quite good, to be fair. Back to my art. I saw lots of good artists again doing little like squares in the back of their drawings, so I started trying to do that with some success. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I scribbled this whole page. Oh god. But these two, you can like flip them around and they still look like faces. Because I saw a book that was like that, so I copied that. But I drew some like live studies of my garden. And I was really proud of this one, so much so that I signed it. Fail. I didn't like the way I drew this wheelbarrow. That poor ink pen, I scribbled with it so badly. There's a pot of ink, some armor. It's the same like shiny stuff I had in my other sketchbook. Wait, I smudged this. Drake. Drake was a character from my friends and I story we made together, which you saw at the back of this book. It was this one, so that was probably Drake. Yeah. This character I started drawing with this awful blush. I actually drew him on the back of this book. Yeah, I'm really tempted to redraw a lot of these. It's always really fun seeing how much you improve. Oh yes, I forgot. In this block of time, I completely forgot that people had eyebrows. Like, if you see, most of my drawings, the characters just don't have eyebrows, and it's because I didn't realise people had eyebrows. I was so embarrassed when I realised, because for years I'd been drawing people without eyebrows. Yep, more eyebrowless. This one had eyebrows, because I think it was, like, did I draw this with my eyes closed? And it was like a drawing of someone, I don't know. I drew these characters with, like, zips on their necks. I don't know why. It's like some Melanie Martinez lyrics. I remember I was doing this in, like, maths class. And one of these, I don't know what they are. I don't know. What kind of accessory is that? Jesus. She got scammed. It was unfinished. Oh, another drawing by that girl. It looks so good. And it has eyebrows. Winx Club. Oh, I drew myself in like different styles. So this is me in the Winx Club style. And then this is me in all these other styles. I had braces at the time. Wow. I think this is quite cool because like I altered my all black outfit to have lines in it because Winx Club is quite detailed, I guess. Yeah, pretty neat. Know what she is? Don't know what that is. This I drew as like a Valentine's Day special. I guess she's quite cute. I've redrawn her a bunch of times as well. Because, again, I found it much later on and was horrified. Poppy. Oh my god. Yeah, again, I didn't know how to draw folds. This was something I found on Pinterest. I was, surprisingly enough, I wasn't a boy part of a love triangle. But here's a hand. Some more ways to draw eyes, lips, and noses. I don't know why I needed to record that you could draw a nose as a dot. My friend was trying to teach me how to draw because she was into drawing as well, and I drew this face and she was like, wow, that looks really good. And then I gave it this hairstyle and she was like, why did you ruin it? And I was like, it's fun. And then I used her markers to draw this. Do you guys remember these? They were like keychains. I wanted to use the like colorless blender to make splotches, so I drew this character. I believe she was inspired by the like chemist from Big Hero 6 because she'd have like a bag of like chemicals. I don't know. She was meant to be a chemist. Thing. Me trying to learn to draw hair. The Adobe architect. I think one of my classmates drew a cat and I thought it was like the cutest thing ever, so I tried to copy that drawing for my and I got a bit too into it, so there you have it. More Crayola. I used like the lighter color to like sketch it, and then the darker to line it, if you could call it that. This thing. This. My friend drew that, Malnourished Boys. I remember I drew this and the hand didn't come out properly, so I gave her that instead, which I think is quite cool. She doesn't look happy about it. Another weird looking character. A potato. I remember a boy in my, I was drawing this in like PE somehow, and I remember a boy in my class was like, oh my god, why does she have such big boobs? And I told him, shut up, Michael. Another drawing. As you can see, there wasn't much consistency in my face drawings. Fails, I guess. I don't know why these are fails and those previous ones aren't. I don't really know what criteria I have for a fail. I think I tried to make my own Pokemon, so that's what that is. It's quite cute. I came up with this like fly race, and I made like a character creator for them, but out of paper, so you could like stick different eyes on them, which was pretty cool. I don't know where that's gone. This is another character from my Friends and I story. Norman, I think. I think I had to draw this for like a debate we had in school. Oh, I think we were trying to come up with our own political party. So that's what that was. That's my friend. Not the one who's been drawing in this book, another one. Spider, shampoo, fun stuff. Another drawing by my other friend. I had so many friends, wow. Girls t-shirt large. Oh my god. That's crazy. I can't believe I still have this. I guess it's time to bin it. Goodbye. More characters from that story. That was Eric, he was like the main one. Then there's this one. You saw him earlier. And that's the end of that book. There are some more drawings on the outside that are equally as funny looking, and I believe that's another character I've had for a while. His name's Ezra, and this one never got a name because he's confined to this book.